There's a little bit of something there. You fucking quite comfy there, fucking hell. Get up. Good. Hey, how much have you got to drink? Not that much, okay, cool. Right, we have another actor in this section who's not new to comedy, I have to say. I worked with him years ago and he took a little bit of a break, and he's back. He's back. With some new, and I'm really chuffed that he wanted to come down and play here. So actually, it's lovely to see him back on the circuit again after taking a break, and you're going to absolutely love him. So without further ado, whooping and cheering. Whooping and cheering, clap the hands. Look to the clever hands, clap the go well for Richard Coughlan.
Good evening, Howie. My name is Richard Coughlan. I've been doing this for a little while, and you know you've arrived on the circuit when you get a stand-up comedy circuit nickname. And I've got one of those. I'm known on the circuit as the David Beckham of stand-up comedy. I'm sensing some doubt there from... I'll explain it, it's not obvious. Obviously it's not because I'm good-looking or stylish, we can get this, and it's not because I'm any good at football. The reason I'm called the David Beckham of stand-up is because everybody who's ever met my wife really wants to punch her in the fucking face. The wife-beating jokes always go down better in Scotland, Actually, as you can tell from my accent, I am English, and don't fucking mess around here, son. I haven't forgiveness for Culloden, right? Forget it now. Oh, that was a tense, sorry, was that too soon? A Culloden joke, right? It's taking the piss now, mate, but no, anyway. I am English, but no, when I moved up here, I actually live in Scotland. I live in Dunfermline, and that's the reaction I got. Yeah, when I fucking arrived, the people from fucking Livingston feel a little bit superior now, don't they? But people, when I moved up here, all the people I knew in England, they were like, "Oh, you got to be careful in Scotland. Oh, they all fucking hate the English. Oh, they'll fucking kill you out there." And I've noticed when I go around the fucking like Ireland and Wales, the rivalry we have is a little bit depleted now. It's not as bad. We've even got little nicknames for each other. You know, the Irish are the paddies, the Welsh are the tappies, the Scots are the jocks, and the English are cunts. And that's... So if you like it, my first ever live gig was actually in Scotland. It's a true story. I was 17 years old, I wanted to be a magician. And I did my first ever gig as a 17-year-old magician in a Glasgow working men's club. Yeah. These fuckers have a bomb strapped to them if they don't serve you a drink, so we're going to be fucking careful with it, right? So I'm going there on stage, and my opening joke, there's Scottish magicians, there's never been any, right? Because you don't like Scottish people don't like magicians, because they're a bit too smug for their own fucking good, aren't they, right? They like to prance around, and you don't like that sense of the arrogance of them, right? My opening trick used to be, you know the trick with the hanky? You get the hanky, you stick it in your hand as the hanky's disappeared? It used to be my opening bit. And I'd walk on stage and I'd go, "There's the hanky, the hanky," and it's gone. Complete silence. And the biggest Scotsman in the world, Angus McSporran, with an 8-foot ginger beard, stands up in the front row and he goes, "That's very fucking clever! How'd you do that?" And I said, "Well, it's mystical forces, it's the magic, it's the powers of the... I don't think you understand me, mate. Will they lock the fucking door? Right? You're gonna tell us where that fucking hanky's gone now?" I said, "Well, I've got a fake thumb there, it's a plastic thumb, and I put the thing in there and I twist it, and it looks like it's gone, but it's just a fake thumb." He goes, "Right, very clever, fucking carry on!" I do love, that is my bit I love about the Scottish. I can have any bit, I love the accent, I love it. When I arrived in Dunfermline, I just got there, I'm walking, it's the summer, and I'm walking down the street, and you know sometimes you get those bees that are a little bit too fucking aggressive? I mean, they just sort of, they follow you for a bit. This little bastard bee was following me around for about 30 seconds he was, and I finally twatted him away, and he started following this pensioner woman behind me. She's about 70 years old. This bee, it wouldn't leave her alone for about 2 minutes. And then she suddenly turns around, this little old lady, she goes, "Fuck off, you stripy cunt!" This bee shit itself, you know. Broke the sound barrier. When I moved up here, I was living in London. I actually got on the property ladder in London. And I was in a fucking abandoned greenhouse on an allotment, right, in Clapham. It was still £850 a fucking week, right? You know, I don't know if you've ever lived in a greenhouse, it was weird. I lived there for 2 weeks. You ever lived in a greenhouse? We've all done it once, haven't we? You know, Pardon me, got high maintenance audience tonight, is it? I lived in it was weird living in a greenhouse. You had to I didn't really know how to prepare myself for it. And the only thing I had was that old saying. Remember that old saying? They said, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And on the first day I realised that it's not a good idea to wank during the day either. They weren't my tomatoes, I don't know why I'm thinking. But I'm living with my girlfriend now. I do have a girlfriend, yes, it's possible, right? Thank you for that whoop there. But no, it is possible. And it was weird because I've always struggled in relationships, mainly because people are always obsessed with how I fucking look. I don't think I look particularly weird, but people always... I don't think people know what to make of me, whether I'm mildly attractive, good looking, ugly as fuck. It's not really... I was in a pub a couple of months ago. And it's like a group of lads, a group of girls, we all go out, and the girls have split up, they're all talking about stuff, and evidently, the girls who we were with were talking about, like, attractiveness in men and standards, and the girl spun round and used me as exhibit A in her conversation. She goes, now Richard, right, see, he's not very attractive, right? She said this out loud. I'm like, thanks fucking much, mate. I really needed your fucking opinion right now. This is going to be great, right? And she tried to dig her way out of it. She realised she'd said something a bit insensitive. She tried to dig her way out of it by going, you're not very attractive. Oh, but you're very noticeable. Well, that's not fucking good, is it? If you're not attractive, the last thing you want to be is noticeable. The Elephant Man was unattractive but noticeable. Last year during Christmas dinner, my nan farted and shit herself. That was unattractive but noticeable. It was hilarious, and after a fortnight, it was brilliant, right? And it was always weird growing up. The thing I always liked about growing up was when you got when you start going and seeing girls and that, but you've always got that one mate who never lets go of the thrill of masturbation. Right? You know, from a teenager, every bloke in here has got at least one mate who takes wanking a little bit too seriously. Right? If you're sat there thinking, I haven't got that mate, it's because it's you. My mate, his name's Steve, he had fucking dissertations, tomes written, he'd fucking sit there for like blueprints trying to work this shit out. He had an iPhone app, everything. He was obsessed with it. He tried to come up with new ways to fucking do it. One morning, right, we're at college, I'm 19 years old, he comes running up to me, excited with his new discovery. He said, Rich, what hand do you wank with? This is how we started the conversation, right? Now, I'm eating a baguette, I don't need this, right? What hand do you wank with? And I said, well, I'm right-handed. And he went, right, next time you're having a wank, don't use your right hand, use your left hand, because it will feel like a woman's doing it. And he's right, because it's fucking shit, right? Moving towards where the claps were, away from the women in the front. You're welcome to prove me wrong later. And also, I mean, I had a problem. I was always, my problem with women was I'm shit in bed. This is really, it's not normally the sort of thing I'd announce to a room full of strangers with a microphone in a club, but maybe that was where I was going wrong. But you know, the thing was, I think the problem was premature ejaculation was my problem, right? Well, it got really bad. I mean, it was prehistoric in times. Premature ejaculation was so bad, I was actually coming 2 shags in advance, right? Seriously, there's women in this room tonight who I've probably disappointed and you don't even know it yet, right? I don't like the term premature ejaculation, it's too negative, you know, enthusiastic, right? You know, inconvenient maybe as well. And all I hated about premature ejaculation was the fact it's always the man's fucking problem. Right? It's always the man who always a bit like, why can't you just slow down? Why can't you fucking hurry up? Let's have some compromise here, right? Girls, if you could orgasm after 10 seconds without much effort, you'd fucking take that, wouldn't you? Right? So don't fucking persecute me because I'm more highly evolved than you, right? Get with the program, it's a fucking 21st century, things got to speed up. Right? I sound like I'm having a go at girls, and I don't want to come across as a misogynist, because you never get a shag out that way, will you? But I don't want to come across as misogynist. I do believe that, you know, I do believe in equality. I think men and women are equal. We are both as useless, fucking stupid, irresponsible, untrustworthy, and downright fucking retarded as each other, right? And if I was to ask any woman here, I'll tell you a story, right? It's a story from when I was 23. I was going out with this girl, we've been together for a few months, and she was quite experimental with sex, right? Now, if I was to ask any woman here, what do you think men think about most of the time? What do you think men think about most of the time. Football, right? Given the nature of the joke I've just told, where do you think I'm going? I think I'm about to tell a football joke, right? Me and my girlfriend, we had a five-a-side match with each other. No, but men are filthy. You think about sex, don't you? You think about sex, don't you? Dirty, disgusting, filthy, disgusting, fucking evil, disgusting, filthy, disgusting fucking bastard. And you're right? But the problem is, right? Women have got to hold it back a bit. They can't come across as too filthy openly, right? But they suppress it. It's fucking in there. There's women here tonight. Madam, you look like you could teach primary school, right? I know somewhere in you there's this fucking big-titted slut waiting to jump out and fucking pounce on top of that guy and reduce him to a grease stain on the fucking mattress, right? He's not your fucking brother or anything, have I? Have I just met him? Hey? We're from Ayrshire. You're from Ayrshire, right? Is that code for incest up here? Ayrshire. I was with this girl when I was 23 and she wanted to, I'll give you an example, right? What I'm talking about. I was with this girl when I was 23 and she wanted to experiment and stuff and I wasn't really good at it. I didn't know. I only know one position in bed and that's conscious, right? So, and that's only if I've got a good day, right? But she says to me one day, she said, Richard, next time we're having sex, would it be okay with you if you stuck your fingers up my arse? Now, that's a really weird question to get asked at your nan's funeral, right? Whilst I was giving the eulogy, it wasn't necessary, right? Could have asked it later. But I thought, well, I'll give it a go, right? I'm thinking, what's the worst thing that can happen? I'll try and experiment. Now, for those of you who are not sure, right? For those of you who aren't thinking, I'll tell you. When I say fingers up the arse, I don't just mean like, I don't mean like, yeah, I don't mean take a running jump off a fucking trampoline and just fucking ram it. I'll show you how to do it, right? Let's say the buttocks are here, right? She wasn't a giant or nothing, right? Just say the buttocks are here, right? And when you get around there, right, you've just got to start off, so just start off dead with one thing and just ease that in there like that. Maybe mix and match, change speeds, change the things, change hands, right? You know, I was really good at it because I used to play the harp. Right? Anyway, I've got this finger, right, and I'm about yay far in. And there's no easy way to put this, I come across an object, right? When I say, not like that, when I say object, I mean it was something obviously like, foreign. Not like a sombrero or anything like that. It was something like hard and had edges and that. I thought, well, this can't be right. And you can't say anything at the time. Don't say anything at the time, you'll just spoil the romantic ambulance in the room. It's like you're fingering your girlfriend's arsehole, for God's sake, right? So I thought, well, I can't just leave this fucking thing here, and I can't say, I thought, well, what I'll do is, I'll see if I can get some purchase on this place. And then, once I've got it, I'll just yank it out, throw it in a corner, I'll pick it up in the morning, no one need know, right? Because I'm a fucking gentleman like that, right? So I'm trying to fucking concentrate, and people, when you say men can't multitask, I'm multitasking like a motherfucker here, right? And I finally get my finger around it, I'm like, right, here we go, just pull it out, it's like ripping off a plaster or something like that, right? Just doing that, and you go, 1, 2, 3, right, like that, right? And I'm about to throw it in the fucking corner, and I look at it, and I realise what I'm holding in my hand is a solid gold Rolex watch. Now, being polite has gone out the window at this point. I have to fucking inquire as to this. So I said to my girlfriend, darling, why have you got a solid gold Rolex watch shoved up your arse? She looks at me and goes, happy birthday to you! Thank you, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Good night!